What is up, everybody? If you like the content I put up, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and leave me a comment below letting me know what you think of today's video. Today we're going to be going over the scavenger hunt. Usually so far in the past, the scavenger hunt has been basically exactly the same and has had the same answers, and usually even has the same repeatables, such as using friends and collecting runes and that type of stuff. So what I wanted to do today is just go over a quick little guide on how to complete the scavenger hunt. Typically I'm doing it within 10 minutes or less. This time it might take me a tiny bit more, only because I'm going to be explaining everything, but for the most part it should be pretty quick, and I'll cut out any of the fluff that doesn't need to be in the video. So the first one that you're looking at here is called Back to Your Roots. All that is to run a campaign dungeon. Typically you're going to run the very first dungeon ever, called Voiceless Hunters, and usually it's going to want you to use some of the original heroes. So I just ran it with like solo Rogar, but I know that you could probably run it with Rogar and Willow and probably like Yasmin and stuff like that, but I'm just going to leave it like this and just run it. So as you can see, that completed it. And what you might have noticed as well, I know that I'm probably going to cut out part of it and probably speed up the video a little bit, but what you'll notice is that I used a friend as well, and that's because at the same time that I'm running these dungeons, I'm still trying to complete some of these repeatables down here. So typically I'm going to be running a hero every single dungeon that I run, just so that I can make sure that I complete this repeatable at the same time. Alright, so part 2 of this is called You Need to Know Who to Beat. And this one's pretty simple. Obviously, you're just going to go over to the event and check one of the leaderboards. That should complete it. I don't think it matters even which leaderboard you look at. I think it's probably for a current event, maybe, but I'm not really sure that that even matters. But for the most part, that pretty much is going to complete it, and there's usually always some type of event going on. Alright, so number 3 here is called Pride of the Family. Pride of the Family is just to kill an epic boss. I would say the quickest and easiest one, and I'm just going to go over to normal mode, is going to be probably King Kung. You could do the Lich or any of them. They're all going to be pretty simple to beat, but for the most part this just seems to be the fastest. And typically I run somebody that wipes rooms quick, like Furnace and Ponty, and then I'll just throw, you know, whoever else in here. Alright, so that one was completed, and as you saw, I clicked on all the sparklies. I ended up getting more stamina than what you would normally get in a dungeon, which is pretty cool, so make sure you're always clicking on those sparklies. Next one is kind of tricky. Oops, did we click on it? Yeah, we did. The next one's kind of tricky. We're not exactly sure 100% what makes this work and what makes it not work, but from what I've found, if you run a team of heroes with different colors and different class or different races, so like I'm talking about like construct, reptile, stuff like that, it seems to work. Now for whatever reason, I'm just going to show you in campaign here. Typically I'm going to run like a crypt dungeon because these are kind of colorless, so I just run a crypt dungeon, and then for whatever reason I've found that green doesn't work, so it needs to be like red and blue and black and white, if that makes sense. I'm not sure why green doesn't work, but also I'm told to run a dungeon that's not one of the colors of the heroes that you're using either. So don't run a white, a blue, a black, or a red dungeon. So I believe that green dungeon will work fine, and I believe that a crypt dungeon will work fine. But basically, to my knowledge, you just need to run a team like this, and then just complete the dungeon, and it should complete the quest. So as you can see, for whatever reason, that completed the quest. The other theory that I have on that is that it needs to be a white, a black, and then one of the two primary colors. So maybe it can be green, but like green and red. I think one of the times that I tried like red, green, blue, and black, and it didn't work. So I think it has to be like the white and black, and if that makes sense. But for the most part, if you just basically run the team that I just ran or something similar, you should complete it with without any problems here. All right, so the next one is called Energize the Battlefield. That one's also pretty simple. All we're going to do is use an energy potion on a warrior hero, which we've already got this team set up anyway, so we're just going to run a dungeon. Whatever dungeon is fine, it doesn't really matter. And we're just going to right off the bat use an energy potion. Oops, wrong person. So use an energy potion on Falcon is what I meant to do. And as you can see, the scavenger hunt completed. I'm going to click on this thing. I'm going to use one of my friends to complete that repeatable. And then as soon as I do that, I'm just going to quit out because I already completed the quest. Next up, we've got something called the Golden Compass. And the Golden Compass is pretty simple as well. All you're going to do is go back to a dungeon. And what this requires you to do is use all gold rarity heroes. So we're talking about this little frame that's around the heroes. So all of these guys that we're looking at here are purple or legendary. So we can't use any of these guys. And typically your game is going to order these people in order of rarity. So just pick anybody that's gold. Doesn't have to be anybody in particular, just as long as it has a gold frame, and you'll be fine. For this one, you do have to complete the dungeon. Alright, so that one's completed. Now we can move on to the next one. The next one's called Lord of Fires, which is pretty straightforward. You're just going to run dungeon in chapter 15 called Fire Lord Temple. So we're going to go over here to chapter 15, wherever that's at. Chapter 15. Oh, sorry, it was right here. So the Fire Lord Temple, you're just going to run this. And I think you have to run it with all blue heroes. I'm not positive, but I'm just going to do it because that's what I did last time, and it worked. And I don't want to have to do it more than once, so we'll just run this with all blue heroes. Pretty straightforward. On we move to number 8. Number 8 is called Bring Me to Life. This one's kind of annoying if you are a higher level player like me and have almost everybody decked out with runes. So basically what you need to do is you need to use a res potion or a revive potion on one of your undead heroes. So the tricky part here is finding one of your heroes that can die easily. So I kept my Warlord Yorick unruined here. That will make it easier for me to do. I'm going to go to boss mode. And I'm going to try and run something where they will hopefully kill me. But I'm not exactly sure where the best place to do that is. So, oh, on this one I have to run Cabal, so don't want to run that. So, let's run Braum. And let's just, I already have a res pot here, so I can just run it. Hopefully they will be able to kill him. One of them. Perfect. So that was a kind of a close one, but at least this worked. I can just use a res pot. There we go, and now that's completed. I'm going to use one of my friends, and then I am going to get out of here. And now that's completed. Let's see what the next one is here. The next one's called Switch on the Light, which is kind of similar to the one where we ran all heroes with gold frames, except this time we're just going to run all yellow heroes. So I'm going to go back to normal mode. And so here we're just going to run all yellow heroes. We don't care who, just run whoever you want. All done with that one, and now we're on to the final one, which is actually the easiest one, probably in the whole thing. And that's don't give up, you're almost there. Just treat your heroes with love and care, which is kind of a mouthful, but basically all we're going to do for this is make sure that you have 3 energy potions. So get rid of this res pot you have here, so get this energy one here, and just hop back in with the same exact team you had before. And we are just going to use all 3 of the energy potions on our friends here. Energy, 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 and Scavenger Hunt is complete, my friends. We can get out of here, except I'm going to use our friend real quick, and then we are done. So that's it for this iteration. Maybe they'll change them in the future. So far they haven't changed them. What I recommend is just looking at what your repeatables are down here, and if you can complete repeatables at the same time, go for it. Last time, for example, they had a repeatable where you could have a hero that was taunting, or you know, like you could be running crypt dungeons. That's why I keep running a crypt dungeon. It's not in this one, but all I'm saying is look for that as well, so that way you guys can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Anyways, hope this helped. I'll talk to you guys soon. If you like the content I put up, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and leave me a comment below letting me know what you think of today's video.